Hi, my stamping friends, it's Sandy here. I just got my Simon Says Stamp Card Kit of the month, February 2019. I thought I would share with you what's inside the box. I've recently been checking out other companies' card kits of the month, and I'm having a lot of fun doing that. And this one has proven to be exceptional. Get all these little goodies. Let's work our way through them. I got Simon Says embossing powder, and it's clear. Prismacolor unicorn dust embossing powder. Now, is that sparkly goodness or what? A little bit of candy just to keep you going. 3 different kinds of floss, 3 different shades of red. Isn't that pretty? Then, if you haven't tried their envelopes yet, here's a lovely selection, and they have this lovely pearlized finish on them. They're quite gorgeous. Check out the designer paper. Okay, I'm going to show you each side. So we have the little vintage post on this side, and then vintage hearts. A kind of a flourish in a nice kind of red with a little brick design on the back. Some fun polka dots. And I don't know, shabby chic hearts, beautiful little hearts in black and white, and it's got a little kind of font going on in the background too, which is kind of fun. And who doesn't love plaid? There's a nice selection for you. Little tiny red diamonds, those are gorgeous. And then a different style. Oh, and this matches something I'm going to show you in a sec. This one's kind of fun. A bunch of different lines. Turn it this way. The music was upside down. Music and hearts and lines, etc. Very pretty. This almost looks like there's a little bit of fleur-de-lis going on in here. And then hearts on the back. I think I forgot to show you that one. There's black and white stripes on the back of that one. And then we've got this lovely with a whole bunch of different pieces that you can cut out. And on the other side, there's a whole bunch more. And this looks like it's vintage Valentine's, which is very cool. Now, back to this one a little bit ago. As you can tell, I've already peeked in here. I couldn't stand it. I had to open it. This one, there is a 6x6 background stamp that has exactly the same design on it. Now, that's pretty cool, huh? And then there's black cardstock. So if you want to try their cardstock, you get a look at that. And then this amazing stamp set. So there's a large rose, and then there's a set of roses with flowers. There's a strip of music. There's a pretty little bird. There is a beautiful rose heart. I have been dreaming about cards to do with that one. And then a couple more hearts here. And these are outline hearts. There's a couple of solid images here. And then there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There's 12 sentiments in this stamp set. Sorry, you're getting a glare. I'm going to take it out of the package. Hopefully that will help a little bit. There we go. Nope, it doesn't help. And last, almost last, you get a designer 6-part card designs. So they give you some ideas of what some of the design team have come up with. And then there are some more sheets of cardstock. So there is a pretty pink, there's a hot pink, there's a craft, and there's a vanilla. And can I just say, these two, I don't know what poundage they are, but man, oh man, is that ever nice cardstock. Okay, so let's make something with all this. Hey there, welcome back, stamping friends. And as you can see, I've been having a little fun with this card kit. I have a 6-pack to share with you today. I'm just going to zoom back out. And what I've done is I'm just going to quickly go through each of the cards with you, and then I've done a PDF and an individual picture of each one of them on my blog, so you can download the PDF if you like. Card number 1 is this pretty little guy, and funny enough, my husband walked by when I had just finished all 6, and this was his favorite. He likes this sentiment, which is kind of cool. Anyway, the base solar white, 4 1/4 by 11, scored and folded at 5 1/2. Then I took a piece of the 80-pound Neenah solar white, and I stamped randomly the stamped image, the large one from the stamp set, and I used the Gina K Craft ink all in the background, and I did actually stamp it off once before I did it so that I got a lighter effect. So first generation stamping, for those of you who are new, stamping off once for those of us who are a little longer in the tooth. And I stamped the image again so that I could cut out the heart. There is no die for this, but it's really easy to cut out. Then this is a piece of vellum, and it's 2.5 by 3.5, and I stamped the sentiment in the VersaFine Onyx Black, and then I clear embossed it with that new package of clear embossing powder that Simon Says sent me. So there you go, there's card number 1. Card number 2, I have to say the designer paper inspired me for this one. It's called Romance, and it's very kind of vintage Valentine, and so I decided to go with it. And got the background here is the Smooth Desert Storm. That was part of the cardstock that was in the package. It's lovely if you haven't tried it yet. 5.5 by 8.5, and I scored and folded that at 4.25. Then I have a piece of basic black, and I took a piece of Whisper White, and again I'll give you all the measurements in the PDF file. It'll speed the video up a little bit. I again use the Craft Gina K ink, and I use the large rose lattice background stamp that you get in the kit, and I stamped that on the background. I used a piece of the designer paper on the bottom, and then if you look closely here, that designer paper that had the little red diamonds on it, I just popped a strip across there. I needed a little bit of brightness in there, and then I added the thread that we got in the kit, and again I stamped the heart, and this is again with black on the Craft, and cut it out. This is part of the designer paper, so there's a set I think of 8. I just cut one out, and another stamped image on Craft and cut it out. This one, I stamped it right on the designer paper. This is just an outline heart stamp, and then fussy cut it out. And I'm sorry, but I actually like to fussy cut. I find it very soothing, and I'm not worried that this didn't come with any dies. I am quite happy to be playing with these. Okay, so card number 3 is another little masculine guy. I like to do feminine and masculine cards because us females, I mean the majority of us are card makers, and we are giving our cards to our fellows, right? And I know that there's lots of guys out there who stamp as well, and you probably do the reverse of what I do. Anyway, I had some fun playing with the designer paper again. This time I'm using the black cardstock that was in the kit. There was 3 of these guys. They were already scored, and this is nice thick cardstock. You're gonna like this stuff. Again, I used some of the Desert Storm in the background, the designer paper, and a piece of vellum, and this one is a little bit of a different shape. It's 2.25 by 4.5, and I flag-tailed the bottom. I made it wide enough so that my cutout heart would fit on top, and again I stamped with my black VersaFine Onyx Black and clear embossed over top of that, because the Onyx Black otherwise will take forever to dry on a piece of vellum. I left it for about an hour and it was still damp, so just a heads up, you probably want to emboss. And while I'm zipping through all these cards for you, I should probably tell you that this kit is sold out, but you can order all of the items individually. So I've got a list at the end of my blog post, and there's also clickable links taking you right to Simon Says, so you can actually see them in the store. This one, I use that nice vintage plank background piece of designer paper, and I don't know if you noticed before, I don't think I held it up close enough, but there was some embossing detail on the back of this, which was really cool. I love this little birdie in the large stamp set, and that stamp set is actually a 6 by 8, so it is a really good size stamp set. I'm very impressed with what came in this kit, just in case you haven't noticed. Okay, so I turned over another heart and traced it on the back of this one to cut it out. And then we've got the same heart as I used on this guy, but this time I tried the white embossing that came in the kit, and I embossed it on the cotton candy, that nice pink cardstock that came in the kit as well. And I snuck another one of those little designer paper hearts in there, a little sentiment that I flag-tailed. Behind, I have a 1-inch strip of this other designer paper. This stuff's gorgeous, and I didn't want to use very much because I want to do a whole card with it. And then I added some stripes. I just wanted a little bit more going on. And you knew I was going to be coloring this, didn't you? If you didn't, you don't know me very well. Okay, so this is a flat card, 1 layer, but look how pretty it is. I stamped the image twice. Again, this time I used my Alt New Permanent Black. And the reason being is I use the Altenew markers, the alcohol markers, to color my images. I just got them and I've been playing with them. They're quite lovely. And then I stamped the sentiment in the center. I went back and I used one of the Ranger mini blenders and some of the Gina K craft ink and just added a little bit of craft into the background of that one. I quite like it. I had fun coloring it. So much detail. And here's my Wowzer over the top. Let me bring this up just so that you can truly see the beauty of this stamp. It is just fabulous. And there's lots of highlights and lines in it. The artist put lots of detail in it, so it's really easy to figure out where to do the shadowing and the coloring. And this time I used a long piece, so it closes this way. This wasn't in the kit, but I do have some pieces of the Simon Says cardstock, and I quite like it. So this one's 4 1/4 by 11, and I scored and folded it at 5 1/2, and then I put a layer of gold foil and then another piece of black. I gold embossed the sentiment in the center. Hopefully you can see that. Get the light shining. There we go. It matches my trim. And then I took a 4 by 4 piece of the Neenah Solar White, the 80 pound. I stamped my images again, and then I colored them again, and then I fussy cut them out, and I used foam tape to mount them onto the cards. So there you go. And I have about 3 more on the go, so I will be adding them to my blog over the next week. Trying to give you as many Valentine's ideas as I can before the day actually gets here. So if you're in love with this, order it soon so that it arrives, so that you can get your Valentine's cards made. And there you go. There's 6 ideas. Thank you so much for stopping in, and I appreciate you visiting me today. So until next time, happy stamping!